Keto and Krime, Keto and Krime. We uncover the grime on Keto and Krime. Keto and Krime, Keto and Krime. Now is the time for Keto and Krime.
Hey everyone, Tracy here from Keto and Krime. Thank you so much to every single one of my patrons and channel members. You make this possible. And you're one of the reasons I do this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if I haven't said it before, thank you. I'll sing it. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there with me and letting me geek out, not making fun of me like a lot of other people do, because I like weird stuff about crime and dark history. Thanks, everyone. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Keto and Krime. Y'all, I was about to start recording one of my Catholic Church videos, and then I saw this hot off the press. I think it actually broke this weekend, but evidently they have found pages from Brian Laundrie's notebook that says he confessed to killing Gabby Petito in a very, very outlandish way, and the reasoning for it. So according to law enforcement, pages from Brian Laundrie's notebook, the one that was supposedly with him in the wildlife reserve, the one that he died in, which we're still not exactly sure. I know that they say it's a suicide, but even that is suspect, in my opinion. Now there's a couple of pages where he confesses to actually having strangled his girlfriend, Gabby Petito, in Grand Teton National Park because she injured herself and was in a great deal of pain. Really? That's what we're going with. That outlandish, moronic story is what we're going. I'm fired up, y'all. First of all, I know he killed her. But it wasn't because she broke her leg. And I don't think, even unless he is literally the stupidest person that ever walked the face of the earth, that he would actually write that in a journal. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that this is an actual confession. I don't know if this is a prank, or if the law enforcement is mistaken, or they found a notebook and just assumed it was his. I don't know. But this is the most outlandish story I've heard in a long time. But anyway, let's delve into this story, shall we?
And disturbing revelations in the Brian Laundrie Gabby Petito case. Several pages from Laundrie's notebook found near his body in Florida have been made public by his family attorney. Details now from ABC's Rena Roy.
It was a case that gripped the nation, and tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from Brian Laundrie in his own words after investigators say he murdered his girlfriend, Gabby Petito, during a cross-country road trip last summer. The FBI says Brian admitted to killing Gabby in this 8-page handwritten letter released by the Laundrie family attorney, but Brian claiming it was a mercy killing, that Gabby had fallen and was in pain. Writing in part, "I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, that it is what she wanted, but I see now all the mistakes I made. I panicked. I was in shock." Federal authorities say Brian strangled Gabby to death in Wyoming and returned home to Florida alone, sparking a nationwide search. Her remains later found near Grand Teton National Park. Brian and his family declined to speak with law enforcement or Gabby's parents. Brian then disappeared himself. Authorities say they found his body in a swamp near his family's home next to a notebook with that written confession saying he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Gabby's family has filed a civil lawsuit against Brian's parents, accusing them of intentional infliction of emotional distress. The Laundrie's attorney has called the case baseless and is seeking to dismiss it. A judge will decide whether the Laundries will face a jury within the next few weeks.
So on the 24th, this confession was released. And in it, it appears appears that there is a confession where he said simply, I ended her life. I thought it was merciful. I thought it was what she wanted. But now I see all the mistakes I made. I panicked. I was in shock. He wrote that he chose to kill her after she injured herself from a fall in Wyoming. Okay. So if this is true, which I don't know. I'm sorry. You guys know I'm pretty mainstream on most things and pretty logical, but this just doesn't seem logical to me. But okay. So she's in Teton. She's crossing a river, according to Mr. Laundrie, Mr. Laundrie's notebook. And she falls, hurts her leg, and hits her head. And according to the confession, she had a knot on her head that was steadily getting bigger, and he tried to move her, he tried to carry her to the back to the van, but couldn't remember where he parked the van, convenient. And then she wouldn't let him carry her back across the river that she had fallen in. So basically he's stuck, I guess, doing circles in this area, trying to carry her. And that she would wake him, if he woke her up, she would get angry, saying she was in a great deal of pain. So his solution was to strangle her. How is that putting somebody out of their misery? First of all, your girlfriend, your significant other, your fiancé actually, falls and hurts their head. Is your first indication, your first inclination to kill her or him? No. I wouldn't do that to my dog. If my dog hurt themselves on a river, I would find a way to either get my dog out of there to a vet or get help to him. Let alone my wife. If my wife fell and hurt her head and I couldn't, Gabby Petito was a small woman. Small. I could have carried her out of there. And you're telling me if and both my wife and I have pounds to lose, it wouldn't be the easiest trek to carry us out of there. But you know what we could do? First of all, if she hit her head, maybe she could walk. You could lead her back to the van, or you could cover her with a blanket, give her some water, go to the van, go get help, and bring them back. That's what wilderness EMTs are for. That's what park rangers are for. There's a whole myriad of different solutions besides choking the life out of somebody in a mercy killing. And first of all, okay, let's say somebody is gravely wounded, is tragically wounded, is going to die from their injuries. This is going to get graphic. If my wife, the person I love more than anything in the world, anybody in the world, had a gunshot to the gut, which is one of the most painful ways to die, and there was no way to save her, and she asked me to kill her, it wouldn't be by choking her. Do you see where I'm going? There's a lot of ways that you can put somebody out of their misery if it comes to that. Choking is not it. This is just the most outlandish story. He has to be the stupidest person to ever walk the face of the earth. I swear to God. No, you know what happened? They were fighting. He didn't want to marry her anymore. Maybe he feared she would leave him. I don't know. And he killed her. He killed her out of jealousy. He killed her to be rid of her. He didn't kill her to be merciful. First of all, this is like a plot of an SNL skit where there's an old Burt Reynolds movie called The End where Dom DeLuise is trying to help Burt Reynolds, who's dying of cancer, I believe it was cancer, to end his life, and all the comical ways that gets screwed up. And in the end, Burt Reynolds decides he wants to live. So anyway, but choking was one of the methods that Dom DeLuise tried to do to Burt Reynolds, and Burt Reynolds ended up fighting him because it's not a merciful way to die. This is something out of an SNL skit. This is something out of a movie. This is something, and that movie's called The End, by the way. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's excellent. But it's just not a merciful way of ending someone's life. And it was a fall. She hit her head. She had a knot on her head. That happens. How much of an idiot are you? God bless Texas. I can't even keep a straight face, and I don't find death funny. I find this confession, this reasoning funny, but I don't find her actual death funny. Please don't get that confused. But as you recall, he killed her. He returned to Florida without her. Then he went on the lam. Then there was the whole thing about the fight they got into in Utah, and then she stayed at a hotel while he was gone. He came back, and then she was killed in Wyoming. And then the whole manhunt for him, and he was last seen in the wildlife reserve, and then they later on found his body. And according to other writings in this notebook, he was talking about ending his own life, how he thought about driving to her stepfather's house or her parents' house and having them kill him, how tragically, how he made a mistake, he couldn't live without her, and that how he loved her, and that's why he ended his life. And he actually wrote in the notebook, I cannot bear to look at our photos, to recall the great times, because it is why I cannot go on. When I close my eyes, I will think of laying on the roof of the van, falling asleep to the side of meteor shower at Crystal Geyser. I will always love you. Okay. So according to him, he mercy killed her and then killed himself. I don't believe he said how he killed himself. But mercy killing. Mercy killing. No, I believe you did kill yourself. I do believe that you killed her, but it wasn't for mercy. I think you two had a fight. Y'all had a very volatile relationship. It was a crime of passion. You killed her, and then you panicked. I believe that's what happened. But trying to clear yourself posthumously like this, you know, and also where his parents, I have no respect for his family at all. I mean, and speaking of his parents, the most chilling part of this whole thing is that Gabby Petito's parents' attorney is alleging that it was the parents that helped release this notebook, as well as a letter that was found saying that his mother, Roberta Laundrie, sent Brian a letter basically offering to assist him with either running away or even with his suicide or his fake suicide or his, you know, staged suicide, whatever it be, with a very clear order to burn this letter after you read it. And so this plot just keeps getting thicker and thicker and thicker. I don't know who to believe. I think this whole family is crooked. I think he murdered Gabby for his own reasons, not mercy killing, and then was going to either off himself, have his parents have him killed, or stage a suicide and run away. So yeah, whatever you want to make about that, it's the plot thickens. The plot definitely thickens. Just keeps getting more and more bizarre, and I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know the truth, but this isn't it. A mercy killing isn't it. But I felt that I needed to go ahead and report on it, bring it to you, because I do believe in bringing you the stuff as it comes out. I will go ahead and get this out to you right away. Also, I'm still working on more Catholic videos. You will see at least one of them this week, as well as another true crime video, and then more next week. We will get through all this summer. We'll have a lot of fun, and I hope you're having a great day. And until next time, what do you think about this? Let me know down below. Until next time, Keto and Krime.